And I think we are live. Are we live? Yeah, I think we're live. Increase the volume. Yep. That looks fine. And whatnot. Alright, so I can hear myself on the internet and I can hear myself everywhere. Hi. Yeah, welcome to wait, I gotta send this link to my friend. Actually, I should. I don't know what this is. Yeah, it looks fine. Just in order not to get any problems, I'm gonna do like this every time I'm doing something else. Here. Okay, so okay, so here's the thing. This is going to be a short, long, I don't know, a development log of a game that I had a new idea of, and this thing is gonna be made from scratch. Gonna use SDL for now. Probably gonna port it to OpenGL if I get a working prototype. It's going to be a 2D game, and it's going to be about something about diagnostics and medicine and stuff like that, but more of an accessible kind of way, like less of the complicated jargon and more of like simplistic ideas that would make the fact, like the process of diagnosing things and fixing them. I mean, this could also apply to machines in that case. Very interesting, very much fun. So this is a game where you would have a small problem within an organism that you more or less know how it works, and you got to figure out through limited resources and stuff, like limited by terms of the organism itself. Like it has a limited amount of blood and whatnot, and you gotta take that blood and fix it and check it out what's going to happen to it, and see how much of what is there, and then say, oh, this thing we need to fix it. So you got to mix those things yourself, and then do them. So the idea is pretty. It's pretty solid, I think. Let me think. You can't touch this cable without it disconnecting, right? Do I still have? Yeah, I still do. All right, so let me move this thing within bounds of my. Yeah. Thank you. Go away. All right, so let me show you what I mean. If I make new 1000. Oh my god. Great. Wait, what? Oh, 720. Alright, so we have this thing here. Let's fill it with. Yeah, let's fill it with black. And our pen will be. There's still music here. Right. So will be with white. And so the idea is going to be as. Oh, I forgot about that. Yeah, well, I gotta clean it up. Hold up. It's gotta be black, because otherwise it's way too complicated for this program to handle. Alright, so no, it's not, but it's just Okay, so the thing is, like, it's gonna be like an organism in the middle that has like certain organs. Let's say organ A, organ B, and organ C, and your job as its doctor, let's say, is like, for example, organ A is no longer working, and for example, organ A takes substrate small a, passes it on to B, which B spits out small b. But for some reason, A is not working, so it's no longer absorbing, for example. So you have no longer B coming out, and there are some. Well, let's say so. C feeds into B as small c, so A gets created using some certain enzyme made to B, and then B is combined with C to get D. So organ C spits out D. But for some reason, A is not coming. So what's happening is, since A is not coming, B is being massively produced. Oh wait, no, B is not produced either, and you have a lot of increase in C. And since you have an increase in C, you find that accumulating in the cell, and there's no D coming out. So since you know this algorithm more or less, you diagnose that C is the problem. So you mix a drug that fixes organ A and solves the problem for you. So it's based on this kind of idea, but a bit more complicated, I guess. Yeah, I mean, it's just basically it, and it's gonna be like a point and click thing kind of thing. Like, go and click on this, drag it over there. Like, you're gonna have like a small, where is it? Yeah, have a small station here with like elements of like A and A2 and A3, and these are all like, if you add A2 and A3, you get D, and like these kind of rules that apply to the entire organism, and we use these rules to do the thing that we want to fix the problem. So is this even running? Or am I talking to the wind? No, it's running. It's good. And yeah, so the more complicated, the more complicated ideas, because the more complicated ideas we get into this system, the more complicated organism we can make. We can make so that we have a multi-cell organism and each cell works in a certain way. And then next idea, we get the different kinds of cells. We have, like, for example, this cell that has three. Oh wait, this is an organism. I don't know. Like, let's say a unit has multiple function, and then there's a different kind of unit that has multiple other functions, and then you have an organism that has two of these units or more of them, and then you have a more complex organism where it has organs made like a lot of cells of type A or type B, and then you mix all of these together, and you have this singular like all these different kinds of species that you more or less know about, and you use that to solve the problems. Like, they come sick with a certain thing, and of course, that advanced in the game, you know about all these things, and you know about how all these small organisms work, and you decide, okay, I'm gonna fix this current thing and then that current thing, and using this drug or that drug, and then the problem doesn't necessarily have one solution. You can do more radical solutions that solve the problems, or you can experiment with stuff. So it's gonna have like an experimentation. You're gonna have a record. So you're like a scientist doing experimentation on different kinds of new made-up organisms that work relatively much simpler than the usual biology, but in a way that the same logic that biology takes, or machines, or whatever. And yeah, there's this kind of satisfaction of solving these puzzles that I want to convey to the player that way in this kind of game. So for now, we'll just set up the game. We'll set up SDL. We'll set up the libraries, and we'll start up the window. And well, let's just do whatever I just drew on the screen right now. You just have these small system that, like a cell that has three things and does three things, and you do that. And yeah, well, how do you simulating that would be a little bit redundant. We need to simulate us solving that. That might be simulated in the background. We won't see anything. We'll actually, that would be interesting if we would have an organism that's stable, that stays there, like yeah, I mean, how do I? Yep, new layer. Okay, so let's say it starts the game and you have this organism like this, and you know nothing about it. But if you put an electrode somewhere or like test things, and you see there's an out like something is flowing out, and this is a certain substance, and then you test that substance, and it tells you, the substance you just tested is this. So we might want like a small tester where you take a sample of something and put it here. We might want then, yeah, so that we know that. We would want a codex that would be like your medical book, and it would tell you very basic information about the game, about the game, about the organism in your hand. And we want to have a and here's the fun part, is one of the fun parts. We want to have a drug mixer and MXR, drug mixer. So the drug mixer is where you start playing with solutions. It's going to have a redundant form of a periodic table of elements, and you mix these elements and you create products that are drugs that you feed to these organisms. I think if we do that, and with an example, that should work. And I'm not going to draw the sprites. I could draw the sprites. That could be its own development. There's just going to be like boxes and circles, and with just like words on it. So we need to set up SDL. SDL is the library that like the thin layer between the game and Windows, so that creating windows and handling events would be much easier. So we need to set up SDL. We need to set up text. Yeah, I'm gonna have to take I have to generate atlases and do that the right way. So we have the text atlas system. And let me bring out a new text document, and let's call this, well, not why here. I'll do it in code. So here. Plan. Alright, so the plan is, number one is set up SDL. That shouldn't take long. Set up fonts and text. There's going to be a lot of text in this game, so I need to do it really efficiently. Thirdly, by using an atlas, and that atlas spits out text. Thirdly, I need to set up events. It will be part of setting up SDL to set up the mouse events and stuff. Set up the clicks, the buttons. We put the fonts on the screen, and yeah, well, set up the GUI in a very redundant way, like boxes and with titles on them. And just get the game loop running, and then we have and then we need to add subject organism or cell. Let's call it cell, and then 5. Oh, this is a small step, and is it small though? I don't know. And tools. Now these tools are going to be like your main form of playing. Mouse cursors, that would be. Later. Because it's going to have to be like fixing the full screen kind of game and stuff. Actually, the game has to be full screen, right? It's going to be a bitch to program full screen. I don't know, let me save this first. Plan.txt. Okay, so we have that. Let me now start with the thing. How are we doing stream-wise? Not bad. Not bad, good. Okay, so let's do that. Let's start the game. I'm gonna set up some music in my head, and we'll start working on STL and whatnot. Right here. New file. Save it as main.cpp. Okay, there's the thing. It's gonna take a shitload of time to set this up manually, so there's a lot of code that I've already written for this. I'll walk you through it, but it's sure that I've already written for it, and I don't need to do it again and again. So here's already a game for, and I have just include these. Yep, include in libraries. The include has all the STL header files, and the library has all the stuff related to the thing, to the libraries, to set up a bin folder where I push the file. And let me copy the build folder of this, the build.bat. I do not use Visual Studio to build my projects because I just feel like I have much less control over them. It's weird because like the UI may be more easier and all that, but I don't like it. So it's gonna be main.cpp. No. Yeah, this is for exception handling. I cannot remember what this was, but let's keep it. AOD2 for debug mode, include link debug console, so that we have a console while we're debugging this. Library path, and here's all the libraries we might want to use. And icon.res and push D, so like push it into the thing, do the stuff, place all your stuff there, and then pop the get out of it. So that's me telling the thing, and CL is the command to build function. So here, push D, push into bin, go into bin, and go back once. Compile this with all of these things. Use the include also back into one and the library path, and it should work. Other than that, let me go to yeah, I need to copy a lot of code today. This is just gonna accelerate the process. So I don't know. Don't hit the player, hit the game. Folder. Raggy? No, which one out of? I'm gonna copy this. Alright. So I'm gonna need the source file. This usually has the stuff that I need. Okay. I set up a header file for main.h. Image.a. Do I need that though? No. I'm gonna go figure JSON files. I don't remember what STL image was for, but I'm gonna get it there. Might need it later. I don't know. Okay, so here, load. Just to keep in mind, I have only been starting programming since November last year, so not that much of knowledge, so not that much experience, but know a little bit just to start my own project. So that's what I'm gonna do. Okay. Main.cpp. Plan for now. I'm gonna include main.h. What now? What? Ah, it's there. And then int main arg. I forgot about that. How did I have that one? To 0. What is the problem? Are you forgetting something? Let's see if this compiles. So I have this developer prompt that uses the compiler of is there a problem? Oh, yeah, there is no icon.res. Yeah. But the icon of res is a resource file that you can make if you want to have an icon for your game. I had an icon for that game. I don't run it. Yeah, it works. Here. No, not here. I don't like that. This new game, I should do one thing. Okay, so cd bin, then main. Yeah, we need the DLL files. Sort by type. All these. These are the actual libraries of the game. The header file just points to what place you need to get them. Point is a maybe not the right word. Let me tell me let's open another program. So let me close these. And this new game. And put it here. Actually not here. It would be in bin. Yeah, that's where the game actually is. The stuff that we have for the game, except for the PDB and object files. The OBJ files are the stuff that's for debugging. Now, if I run it, yep, it does nothing, which is what it's supposed to do. Nothing. It has nothing. Now, this one I have to. Just a second, it won't take that long. So don't take that long. It's just a shortcut for the command prompt that I did here that makes things easier because I'm lazy. I want you just to go to code work. Apply. I put it here. Thank you. Then new game. Then cd bin. Got it. New game. Build works. Main works. Okay. Now we have the thing. It's set up. Now let's get back to the folder I just game. Forgot about that. Folder. Code, new game. Here we go. And we're inside. Main. Here we go. What is it now? Okay, good. So SDL init everything. Now I think SDL everything. This initializes SDL. I hope I wrote it correctly. Nope, SDL init everything, not just SDL init. SDL init everything and in the main.h I have an SDL surface called window surface, an SDL window, an SDL renderer, an int width, and an int height. Now these, let's initialize them to 0 so that we don't get wonky stuff. Now here, just do window. Oh yeah, I like the multiplier thing. Okay, so we get the resolution multiplier, and we have an aspect ratio. That's it. That's it. So we have an aspect ratio of the window width multiplied by the resolution multiplier, and you get that 16 times. And let's create renderer equals. This renderer is our renderer. I don't like this name as renderer. It's just a lot of error. So let's just make it rend. Name it rend. Let's call this wind. Now window. Yeah, rend equals SDL create renderer, and I will pass it window. Index of the rendering drive to initialize, or -1 to initialize the first game, -1, and then I think this one like hardware accelerated is the thing I should have. Yeah, render accelerated. It just uses hardware acceleration. That's what it is. I'm using the GPU. I need to make the window first before I do the render. So here, window equals SDL create window, and here let's call it new game. Yep. I called it new game is because you know when you create a new folder, it just spits out new folder, and you don't know what you're gonna name it yet. This is exactly the case. Create new game, new game. I don't know what's gonna name it yet. So there's a lot of ideas, and I thought should I land on one? Not yet. I just edit the name of the things later. But it's funny because the devlog, the thing on the just says new game, and it's gonna be that way forever until I. Okay. Well, let's make them centered. Window pause centered. I copied that. And the width is going to be window width, window height, and the flag is going to be sizable, maximized. Borderless is nice. Not how I'm gonna turn it on. I'll leave it. Where did I do that? 0, yeah, I don't need to do anything. Okay, so and now rend. Great. It still does nothing though. If I run this, if I compile, actually I should just say compile and run within the path. So after I'm done with this, I'll just say main. Is that the way to run programs though? Yep. That's it. It's gonna spit it for a second, load, and then delete itself because there is no. Not unless I do a while loop and while through. This way, the thing should run forever. Yep. Except now it does nothing, and it's not responding because it's not calling for anything, and I can't turn it off because I haven't programmed to do anything, so it's not responding. Go away. Yeah, that's nicer. Alright, so Control C, Control C. Control C stops the batch file, stops the process. That's it. So, we have this thing now. Do we have a yeah, we have already a Boolean called running. Running is for the game, so running. So while the game is running, do that. And the Boolean is always true until I set it to false. Now we need to handle events. Event handling is just looking for whatever is being clicked or recorded by the input system and then giving it that back out. So usually you have a poll event, SDL poll event, and an event. You name a variable poll event, and SDL poll event is just fills that variable with the actual event. And then you can set all the rules that you want. Let's say like if I press this button, change this Boolean. If I press that button, so you start recording things and interacting with them because that's how your polling event works. Here in this version, I made a function called poll events. It just makes things easier to streamline them because it's just me like if I press D, then there's a variable I call D key I change. So I need the a struct called keys where I store all the different kind of keys information. Which actually in this case I really need to expand to all the keys. Yeah. I need to make a new file. Actually, this time I usually all put them in source, but source is a mess for all the structs and functions. So I'm gonna make a one for structs and one for function. This one's called it's source S. Yep. For now, I don't know. And then this one I'll call source F. You can call them whatever you want, do whatever you want. But it's very important to just say at the beginning, pragma once. The compiler compiles whatever is in this code once. This is useful. You're gonna need this because once you start citing, or once you start including the same file in multiple files, the compiler will have to put them all, like when compiling, it just grabs whatever you included and then pasted it on top of the file. So if we do that multiple times, there's the same thing being redefined, and the compiler does not like that. You should not redefine things. You have multiple things, and yeah. Pragma once does, as soon as it checks if something is only once being included, it doesn't include it again. That's all it is. So yeah, so we have the structs. Let me expand on this one. We have the last keys, shift key, the F key. Well, these are not complete, are they? Okay. How do I streamline this? B, C, D, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, and Z. Now I know my A. Okay, so we have a B, C, D we already have here. Let me put it next to it. E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L. This is that easier to just delete them. And that's the same. N O P U R S T U V W X Y Z. Why do I have more? A B C D E F G. UV. I forgot the U. And I don't need this one or this one or this one. So now I have all the keys. Why do I need them, you ask? Is that I'm gonna have probably a search function for the codex where you type the name of the thing that you need, so I need to put that also inside. Yeah, I think those are all the relevant stuff. Actually, I also need the mouse boolean, so let's make a bool called mouse left, and then mouse right. And then mouse middle. I think I need to also use the mouse X and mouse Y. And mouse X and mouse Y. Yeah, that's it. Although let me check old code somewhere else. I had it in the ray tracer. Do I need... Yeah, I'll get back to it. Am I still... No, come on. Every time I touch this thing is plugged, it just shits its pants. Oh, it's running. It's running. Okay. But am I screaming? It look like I'm screaming. Oh yeah. Well, nobody's watching, so yeah. There's that. So okay, so this thing is nice to record, and let's continue. No, nah. I'm not gonna need today. I'm gonna do things I've already have. All right, so go away. So there's the game. Our game. Okay. Main while running. Oh, I forgot to copy code of the poll events. Yep. Copy. And I want this to include source s.cpp. So this takes the structs. In this case it will know. And I also needed to include the main dot h, which itself is pragma1, by the way, for the header files. And now it should recognize things. Just in case I forgot, make this here. Now we have the sources and then the functions, and now we can say need to initialize first. Keys K. Yeah, let's call them K. No, let's call them keys because they're gonna be a lot of stuff. Keys. Yep. And I need an event. STL event. Event and keys. Now I need to add the fact that I need to store the mouse information within the STL poll event. So STL get mouse state, and I need to pass it 2 pointers. In this case, it's going to be keys dot mouse X, and then keys dot mouse Y. Yeah, I need to pass it the location of these addresses of these. It stores them now. Besides that, I needed to oh yeah, I need to check if I'm pressing a mouse button. I'll copy it from somewhere else. I've done it before. Sorry, there's a lot of copying today, but that's the fastest way to do it. There's a lot of math. Where did I put it? Yeah, there it is. Here, I put them in its own scope. Yep, mouse again. This is why I have these things, by the way. Like I put them in easy to access places so that I can just oh yeah, mouse left, mouse left, mouse left, mouse right, mouse right. Yeah, I need to maybe store that also. I'm gonna go to products. Scroll up, scroll down. Now, if the mouse button. Yeah, so like click and release for either of these buttons. Actually, I also need to do that for the middle now. As the L. Button middle. Oh. Now, I think we should have it all. What? Oh yeah, I need to pass both as. Now let me print out the let's say keys dot mouse X, give it a space, and keys dot mouse Y. What now? And then nav line. So if we run this, what? Oh, the what? S32. Oh, redefinition. Yeah, sure. Yeah, the W as well. Yeah. Save. Build. Oh. It's gonna be a pain in the ass to build and then run the same line, so maybe I shouldn't. Yeah, so as you see here, it prints out the, like, if we here go to the corner, we have 0, 0. That's the cornermost position. So we have the X position and the Y position. So this corner, it should be, yeah, 1280 to 720. So we have right now a basic system that gives us the X and Y of these things within a window. Great. Now, I don't need this. Let's display something on the screen. Let's print out my well, I call it signature now because that's what I do every time I make a fill the screen with the gray. Then I do it again, I think. I need to update the screen, of course, but function. No. Oh yeah, I need to handle the yeah, let's do that now first actually. I need to do the FPS, the frames per second thing, because so here I define a constant called FPS and I decide how many frames per second I want to have. In this case I want 60. This video is displaying 10 FPS by the way, so you're not gonna see any difference. Yeah, and then frame delay is 1,000, like how many milliseconds divided by 60, and I have both things, and I put it into a frame start and SDL get ticks, like to get the number of ticks on the like the number. I don't know exactly what it is, but it just gets the number of the number of milliseconds since SDL library initialized. Yeah. L. And lose connection to the face. Nope, the face still sees stuff. Okay, so yeah, we have that, and then we need to the frame delay to frame start, get ticks, and then when we're done, we when we're done, yep, we do a frame end, SDL get ticks, and then we measure how much from that is left, and then delay the amount left, so that we don't just render a million times per second. We just render once and then wait until it's the 60th of a second, and then we render the next thing, so that we have 60 frames per second. So because otherwise the thing would be running at a million. Well, actually, let me show it to you. Let's say we run it and look at the processor. It's on fire. Well, for other reasons, recording. Well, for now, look, it's using 5% and a 3%, 4%, like around between 3 and 5. So now, if I close this and now I compile this code instead. Now it's using, where is it? Main. Alright, so it's not even there. Main, it's using 0%, like it's doing nothing. Almost zero. It's not even detectable by that process. Still have it. Yeah, so that's the trick. So that's how we do it. We delay by the amount of seconds. Now let's display something on the screen so that we have that running. Ah, yeah, that was it. So we need yep. So we use an SDL render. So we do an SDL render set draw color. We set the color for it to draw in. That's it. And then we set the SDL clear, which clears the screen with that color, so fills the screen. Clear is maybe not that indicative of what it actually does. So, and then we do SDL present, which updates the screen by the stuff that you just fed it to. So this should actually show us something that is gray. Let's see. It does. There you have it. And this one actually uses the GPU, methinks. Let me see. The GPU has a small spot. Yep, it does. So this one uses the GPU to render, which is great. So it's using OpenGL in the background. Which now, come to think of it, if the game is up and running and it's working well, it shouldn't be that. Yeah, the problem is like SDL doesn't allow you to do a lot of effects and stuff and shaders. There's no shaders in SDL, and that means with time we might find a lot of limitations graphics wise, and it wouldn't be that easy to work with after a while. But for now, we're just making basic boxes and we're filling them with basic stuff. It should be actually more than enough. Yep. So let's get back to this thing. And okay, so we have that. We have it calling events, doing the thing. This means we have this one. How do we do a tick here? We have this one. It's done. Let's do number 2. Set up fonts and text. So usually how you would do font, easiest way to do it is to use a library called STLTTF, which just spits an image, renders an image, and gives it to you on a surface that you can just render. But the problem is that it's very expensive. It's a lot of expensive in terms of performance. It re-renders the image every time, and it's a lot of recreation of the same thing. The smarter way to do it, and I commend my friend Tyke for that. It's the atlas. You have a font atlas, which is an image, one image with all the letters in the alphabet, and that atlas, you use that with it memorizes also the location of every letter and how big it is and how small it is and all that stuff, and then use that information to just display parts of the image every time you want to render something. So this makes it much quicker, much much less expensive. I already have a code for that. Yeah, I've been trying a lot of stuff lately, so that's what was it? Atlas. I think it's what is it? Main.cpp free time. It is probably then in main. Yeah. Wait, then it's better to use the updated version of this than it is the Atlassifier. There it is. Gonna put it in here. Edit. Actually, it shouldn't be. It shouldn't be a. Oh, I need to include the free type. Yeah, that's this. Let me just recopy whatever's in there. So I need to use the freetype.dll, the freetype library. That is also a library that does stuff for you, and what it does is that it takes a it takes a TrueType font TDF file and creates and extracts all the information of how big the characters is and how large and all that stuff, and it creates also singular letters for you that you can just use to create an atlas. So really this should be atlassifier.h. Yep. Now let me put this in include. Yep. Now here, that's the one. This is here. I go to main.h and include a classifier.h. Yep. Now, if I go to, yep, this is the one. I made a simple font address generator using a free type. Yeah, I need to paste these within int main. Right here, I think. You create a face, you create a library, and you initialize free type. Create new face using a file. And then link it to the face. And you use kerning if it has kerning, and then set character size. Oh, but I'm gonna use another font, not Arial. I have one in data fonts. Is this one? So let's start putting them in places where they belong. So let's make a new file called data, folder called data, fonts, and then regular. TT. And it's going to be in data fonts. New face, what does it return? I need to check if there is even. Here's the thing, you have to Google a lot of stuff. New face. What does it return? 0 means success. Okay. Yeah, I gotta. If is not equal to 0, failed. Okay. Use kerning and set character size. Yep. Let's try if that error message works. Let's say I delete this. Alright, or better, let's make this like this. Let's just add a character to it. It should spit out the code. Oh, wait. Oh yeah, STVH image has a problem. Yep. Redefine stuff. STV.image.h is sometimes weird. Like if he just did like this, it's just so simple. Whoever wrote this, if he just did like, oh, see, this is what happens. Like when as soon as you what? Run it again. Oh yeah, unresolved externals. I need to include the free type here library. Yep. That too. Didn't I copy it though? I don't know. Oh, that's new. No, it is. Is there? What? Which one are you missing though? Free type of DLL. I don't know. I think yeah. Um. Now should work. Nope. Error, unable to find data font. Good. It spits out the error. Runs for. Wait, did it crash? Did that motherfucker just crash? Yeah, it did. It does crash. Okay, there's a problem. Who'd have thunk it? Oh wait, maybe it's trying to access something that does not exist in this area. Oh wait, let me try it. So if we actually solve this problem and we have the thing, it should crash if there's an error. Duh. Yeah, it works. So yeah. We should make an error message. Let me see if SDL has that. Show simple magic box. Message box. Okay. STL show on a 0, we call it error, and the message would be this thing, and then see how that works. Good. What kind of flag do we have for this thing? So, error dialog, warning dialog. Oh yeah, good. We'll do this one. Error. How did we do that? Oh, it's in a string. Yeah. How to include quotes in a string? There must be a way to do it. Okay, backslash first. Okay. Backslash. Oh yeah, that's it. And then another backslash this, and then. Yeah, I'm gonna make a function out of this and go to functions, void show error. And it's gonna take a car pointer text, and it will do that. Instead of this, it's gonna show text. It's the same shit, so why do we have to? So I just say show error. We have that. So if I run it now, good. Let's call it show fatal error. And while we're at it, might as well just print out the thing that we needed. I should also print it to console. The console. Yep. There you go. Yeah. So now let's get back to working. So we have more or less an error log system. Not a log system, an error system. I just touched you too. What the hell? Do I still have the video? No, come on. Yeah. Everything just disconnected. Great. Let me see what's happening. What is going on? Come on. Do your thing. Okay. I think it works now. Stop disconnecting, what the shit? Okay. Now it's back. We're back on track. I'm gonna go check out the stream first. Second, I'm sorry. Okay, it works. Dude! Okay. I need to fix the USB situation here because this is crazy. This does not make sense. Why is it that shitty? Why is it just like if you blow on it, it disconnects? Okay, so we have that. Now let's get back to the actually using the library I just added, the classifier. We're taking that out of texture. What is texture? Yeah, so I need to create a texture. Okay. With info. render text. Okay, so that's great. Surface atlas surface equals. I need to take the font file. And the size, yeah, I need to make it multiple size. So let's make this atlas surface 20 and make the size here 20. It will store them. I don't like that. It should be glyph info, should be passed within the thing. And unglyph's gonna be 128, that's anyway. So I'll take this. I'll pass it here. No, I need to pass it as a pointer. Sorry. Forest now. Okay, so let's say glyph info think like this. Now, will it recognize them? Yep. Like that. And at the end, I'll just assign it back. I need to assign it back now. Glyph info pointer is the same. I don't think so. No, I don't need to. No, I'm not sure. I have to check for this. Like I said, I'm rusty. Well, not rusty. Too new to be rusty. Well. So this is why I need to initialize glyph infos for the atlas surface. For the O20. And it's gonna be name glyph. Here. Now let me see out glyph info 20. Say 3 dot y1. 19, is it always 19? Oh yeah, it's gonna be all the same. So y0 should be 0 in this case. Yep. No, it saves them. Good. My computer on its own. Sometimes it voltage or something. Yeah, so now we have a surface and the glyph info. The glyphs info store where everything is located. Now it's be understandable if you want to display the surface. So in this case, let's say okay, let's say STL rect for now rect dot x equals 0 rect dot y is 0 rect dot h equals atlas surface dot h, so it has the same width and height. And now let's display that. Oh, I need to create texture from surface. And I need renderer atlas surface 20. So let's say texture equals used to be a pointer probably. Oh. Yep. Now now let's just STL render copy. Take the renderer, texture, source rect is 0 to take all of it, and destination rect is where I would put it. So now if I build it, it should display. Oh. Understand. Where is it? Oh, I'm clearing it before, yeah. I'm clearing the color before I presenting the thing. Yep. Now I have it. This is the atlas of the first 128 characters within that file. Now, of course, you see there's a lot of characters are missing, and it's normal because this is not a complete Unicode file. It's not a complete TDF file that includes every single character within the font set. So this is just the basic stuff. And we only need the basic stuff. We don't need the umlauts, we don't need the special characters, we need basic English, and this is for now sufficient. The game is going to be in English only for now. Yeah, so as you see that they're close to each other. They're not as close as they could be. They don't have to. I mean, better Atlas generators really pack the images. Like if we find something like that, font Atlas like if we go to a font atlas, so a lot of performance drop. What is going on? Dude, Firefox really just murders the PC. And everything connected to it, apparently. Dude. What the hell? Yeah. Yeah, this also ruined the computer the thing for a while. Okay, so there's... Yeah, like this. So if you see it here, if you see it here, there's like they're packed really closely, really tightly together. This is the way you'd want it to be. If you want to be, look at this. If you're rendering with vector text, like this is the most efficient way to do it. Just pack them as closely as possible. But we don't need to do that for now. We only have. I mean, the better way to do it actually would be to make one font atlas that includes all sizes, the smallest to largest. That would be more efficient. Probably should write that code, but for now, nah, it's not that. It's not that interesting. Yeah. So just give me a second. Copy stuff. Yeah. So now. Yeah, we have the things running, and we have what? This is the old one. Wait a minute. What? No. Wait a second. Right. Shouldn't be no shitting pants. Why is there so? I don't know. Sometimes I feel like Firefox is really fucking with me. Yeah, as you see, like we're using a lot of CPU power right now. Why? Is because I am creating the texture every time, and this is not good. So I could actually do this. I put it outside and create a texture only. Like I'm creating in every loop 60 times a second. This is way too much unnecessary processing power. So if I look at this right now in this case, it uses much less processing power, and that's you gotta keep an eye on these little things. You gotta keep an eye on how good, like what's the performance of your program or game or whatnot, because it can go really quickly out of control. And if you don't look at it one step at a time, make sure that you're not dumping memory somewhere, you're not leaking somewhere, and like the memory is stable and the CPU is stable, and there's no sudden increases every now and then. As long as you keep that within your eyes, step by step, it should work fine. Because it's a nightmare to have a code that is already written, it's done, it's you've been working on it for months, and then now suddenly your computer starts to freeze for no reason, and you look at it, and for some apparent reason, your program is using 100% of all resources, and then like you get holy shit, where is the leakage? Where's the problem? And with like you have like 1,000 lines of code, thousands of lines of code, and you have to go through them one by one, and it's a bitch. At that point, it's a bitch to solve. So right now is the right time. Every time you implement a new step, a new feature, you gotta look at your code. So the performance. So now we have an atlas. It's created. Actually, let me generate the texture next to the atlas and call it the atlas texture. Now we don't need to have the rect, it's just for now. We also don't need this thing. Now let's display a message. Let's display a message on the on the window. In order to do that, we need to only render copies of a single, like of part of the texture. We create the texture once, we create the surface once. we need to cut pieces out of it. And this is why, by the way, this is what, if you look at it, this is what I was doing here by rect, the second rect. Yeah, no, that's a destination rect. Sorry. When you render something, there is a source rect and there's a destination rect. The source rect is what part of the image are you taking, and the destination rect is what part of the window are you placing it. So in the source rect, you choose, I want you to cut from this X and Y this much height and width, and then place it in this place within the rect of this X and Y. So you can stretch an image and you can shrink it that way. I think. Yeah, that's how you do it. Or make it bigger or make it smaller. Like maybe it's a small thing and you make it bigger, and if maybe there's like a big texture, and just make it a tiny part of it. And this is all that stuff is the CPU, the GPU deals for you, like does it for you, so you don't have to think about it. Which is not as optimal as you might think with an SDL renderer, but I think it's fine. Okay, so we need to display the message of, let's say, like hello world. No, hello world. Let's display the message I want to, yeah. Goodbye world. Goodbye cruel world. Goodbye cruel world. So we're gonna say goodbye cruel world, and we're gonna start by doing the following. Like we input a text, and it should take the first character of that string, get the right glyph for it, and then give me and then render that part of it, and then move the cursor, and so on and so forth. And I'm thinking within the Atlas file there's already, yeah, sorry, there's already code I written for it, but it shouldn't be that. Let me see, what does this do? So for t equals 0 to t equals text.size, where text.size means text is a string, I pass it a string, and yeah, we need to iterate that. There's SDL. We have a source rect and a destination rect. To create them, they're not expensive to create. They're just they're just 4 integers. Yeah, and then you have a pen X, like where your pen point is, the cursor, and you advance it based on the glyph info. And then if there's kerning, you use kerning, and then copy. No, it's perfect, I think. Okay, let's put it here. And now, yeah, for some fucking reason it's plus 29, though I don't know why. I don't know if this will be the case in this case, so I don't know. What is text? I don't define text. So let's say string. Everything I'm doing within the while loop, I should be careful, because that's something that's being repeated a lot. So just keep that in mind. String text equals goodbye cruel world. Okay, it's better than hello world. Anyway, so I need to pass it what glyph. I'm gonna make this into a function, by the way, because this is, I'm not gonna put this in the main loop. No way. I'm gonna be using glyph 20. And rend. I'm going to be using the Atlas texture 20. PenX. What is PenX? I think PenX is, I have to define it before. Int PenX equals 0. Yeah, I think this should be correct. Now, what am I going to put them? I'm going to put them in the source. And the destination rect is going to be, the X is, oh yeah, this is the pen X is where do I start? I start at X0. Yeah, so it's going to be at the upper left corner. So if I build this, please run without errors. I guess. That's not an error. So for some reason it's not. Render, copy, atlas, and then move it. I don't know, let me see if that's the reason. No, well, I guess we need to bring out the debugger. So let's walk through this. We have t equals 0 until t is less than the size, and we iterate. So then we get the character from the face of the text.t. This will get us the number. Let me see if it's running through it at all. It should be running. Of course it's running, but I mean, it should be doing a lot of. Yep. Yeah, it seems to be fine, I think. We have a source. It's gonna be the glyph. Oh yeah. It might be that other problem though. Let me debug it. Okay. That is welcome to debugger. This is the thing that debugs, which means that you run through your code line by line and you see how well it's doing and why it's doing that. And yeah. So oh man, every time I touch this time I touch the thing, I need to open a local folder. You see, this is the thing. Like, if you don't build your solutions within the Visual Studio, you can still use the debugger, but you just don't have to build them within that environment, which is already funky. I don't know. I don't like it. It feels weird. It feels limiting. It feels more complicated than it has to be. Like, you just open a folder that you already built. Like, you just build it outside. You've compiled it outside, and then you choose the main.exe and then set it as startup item, and then you hit F5, and that's it. It runs your program in debug mode. But right now I want it to step through, and then you go open to the C file, and I just see that I don't even like the header. Well, let's see. Like, I put a breakpoint here and then I run it. It should break there. No, it doesn't. Wait, where? Oh yeah, this. Allow it to not match source. Okay. Yes. Okay, so we have this thing. Now let's go F10, 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 F10. Go here. Let me get glyph.info. What is I? 71. We got an X, we got a Y. We got a name. Is well, we put a breakpoint over here. And F5 again. I is 11. The name is what? Oh, I'm getting bullshit characters. Yep, no. That was a problem. The problem is here. No, wrong code. is in the functions. If I go into functions, the problem should be, oh sorry, the Atlassifier, I think, yeah. Where is it? Yeah, the Atlassifier. Is that I plug this? Yeah, I thought so. I didn't. Yeah. Logical though. Okay, so when I'm done with this, before I return to Surface, I should let's see if this fixed the problem. Good. Oh, now I'm not debugging. Rebuild. Did it build? Let me try it again. Just saying, this is gonna happen a lot. Debugging things are not working. Okay. Oh, I think I need to do this. Hmm. I don't know if the name is correct. I'm not storing the name anyway. No, that's not a big deal. Hmm. Okay. Let me see how I did it. Present it and then clear it, yeah. That's the deal. Okay. Well, that's the Use kerning is based on that. Good. Because I don't even have. Oh. Yeah, go away. No, come on. This hub sucks. Actually, I don't need the iPad for now. I don't need to do that until the end of the stream, so plug this separately. I'll disconnect the camera. Oh, the camera disconnected, of course. Is not support an original cable, you piece of shit. Why isn't it working? Why is this that way? Why are you the way that you are? You're restoring it. Yeah, I'm gonna get a webcam, and I got a webcam. It should be here tomorrow. Yeah. I'm getting no video, so idiots, they haven't even designed a way to close the program. Yeah, well, it's not working, so I don't know what to do. Useless, pointless, stupid. Just a second, sorry. I'm just restarting this whole stupid program on the phone. Oh, never mind. So we have this here. What's going on? We have a string. Oh wait, y plus. Wait a second, is that a problem? Let's do this. Version of So this is not working. I'm going to do a simpler version of this where I comment these out so they don't shoot. And I know, for example, 65 I think was A. Yeah, no, the camera is busted until I stop the stream and like restart OBS or something, but I'm not gonna do that. So I am gonna just disable the camera for now, and you can just yeah, you can just hear me. Okay, so I'm just gonna fix this, and I'm gonna end the stream as well. It's been like 2 hours. So let's say 0. This should be the letter A. The letter A should be that. So I think that's the letter A at least. So let's see what happens when I print that out. Still nothing. What the hell? Okay, so let's make this even more simpler. So say the destination rect is going to be the height is going to be 20, the width is going to be 20, the x is 20, the y is 20, all 20. Now, what about those? Source, I want all of it. Can you show me the entirety of the thing? Oh, let's save it. What? But I just tested that. What the hell? Um, I'm not even using any of the source. I just need destination. Oh, the destination is going to be 200, 200. And the x and y's are. This is. Uh-huh. Source dot h. That's source surface. It's there, it's defined there. Why are you not? Yeah. Oh yeah, sorry. And the x is 0 and the y is 0. This should just show me the one thing that I just created. Still no. I feel stupid at this. What did I even do at the beginning? Oh, I did this. It was just running, what the hell? Yeah, now it's showing me. Okay, now let's do it one step at a time. Now let me put this over here. It should work. Huh. Oh, fucking idiot. That was it? Oh my god, that was so stupid. That was so stupid. That was the most stupid thing in the world. Of course this will happen. Why? Because I'm passing a renderer before I create the renderer. I'm passing it shit. Yeah, I should create these right at the beginning and only... stupid! So simple and stupid. Okay, let me get back the code that I just deleted. See, this is good to have a source code. Okay. Now I can put these here. Create string text. Create a string text and that is equal to goodbye true world. Save that and then use the text, and I'm gonna use glyph info 20. 20, 20, 20, 20. And use renderer, and the texture is gonna be Atlas texture. Thing is still not keeping up with me, this is why. And initialize the penx. See what that works. Oh yeah. Started a window at 0. Alright, so these things. Yes! Finally! I got a system that spits out text. It works. And it worked. And wait, let me see, does this now work? Oh yeah! My camera works now. Not it. Hi. It should be now momentarily back. Flip the camera. That's right. There you go. So yeah, we did it. We made this thing work. So now we have an efficient way to create text, which by taking an atlas, getting the right, getting the glyph info, the height and width of it, the x and y of it, from that, using the atlassifier function that I created way before that, gets the information of every letter and stores it. And now, let's automate that into one thing. So, in this case, what is a 30? Say pen y and set pen y to 0. Will this, not penny, pen y. Oh. Yep. Now build, show it to me. Excuse me? Wait, what? I deleted that? What? I accidentally deleted that. Alright. Oh yeah, it shifts them up. So I need a way to push it down. Oh no, I have plus. Plus. Will this work? Oh! So pen y plus the height of the text, which is in this case 20, minus, let me see if that works. Yeah, that puts it exactly at that point. Okay, but I need to store this information somewhere. So we have this. Okay. Let's make a function. Let's call it void print render text. Render text. And you pass it a string called text. And that's it. You don't need this. And you need an ft face. And you need glyph info. I'll just do it like that one before, you know. Need this. And then do this. In the end, you do that, although I'm not sure it's necessary. I need to test that. That are really necessary. Oh no, I'm not changing them, so I'll just need to pass it the thing. Yep. Oh, and I need to use kerning. Cool. Use kerning. And the texture. See, there's a lot of stuff, so I need an STL texture. Texture. But this one puts it exactly only in the middle. What? I think it needs a pointer. Your passive texture. Now this one puts it in the middle in 0, 0. So this is why I need to give it an int, an x, and int ont, and y. And so I wouldn't need these two. So I think this way I can render the text without doing lots of stuff. So this here I give it good night, cool world, and we'll take the atlas texture 20. It'll take the the size. I need to press the size. I want it to be in the center, so in this case window width divided by 2, and then the window. This is not going to put it exactly in the center. It's started at the center. There's a way to do that. I need to offset that after measuring it. So there's I need face and glyph info 20, and then use kerning is true, or in this case use kerning. It has a lot of dependencies, but let's see what happens if we run it. Yep, we have it in the middle. We can even make it cooler to make the x and y. The x is keys dot mouse x, and here keys dot mouse y. This will be fun. So like it prints it wherever the mouse currently is, with a little delay. Actually, that's interesting. And it's working hard. Look at it, it's working hard. Oh. Not that much, not that much. How is the GPU working? The GPU doesn't show any spikes, which it shouldn't. CPU looks stable, and there is none unnecessary memory spikes or leakage. So we have that. A good night crew world that follows your mouse around with delay. And if I run the game faster, it will be faster. But you know, oh, by the way, when you close it, it closes for a reason, because within the functions, if we go to functions and we go to if event type equals SDL quit, running is false. So if the SDL quit, that's a type of when you click the X button, running equals false, means that set the running boolean to false, and that running boolean is based on the while loop. So the while loop keeps running while that's true. If we set that to false, the game closes up because it gets out of the while loop, no longer executes, and goes out of the way. So this was fun. This was fun. We've been running for I don't know how many hours. Let me see. This thing is. Why are you not probably in JavaScript and not using Unity, Unreal Engine 2020, not like a modern programmer? What is wrong with you? Yeah. Yeah. I'm like a old-fashioned mind. So thank you for watching, guys, and I'll see you maybe tomorrow, maybe next time, and I'm gonna working on this. It's gonna be like a little pet project. So we can go to the plan and say we successfully set up fonts and text. So next time we're going to do the GUIs, we're going to set up the elements so that we have places for stuff. We can then add the subject and the tools and then start working on the game. Thank you for watching, and see you next time with better quality sound and video, hopefully.